Kia ora everybody, Robett here. I really kind of didn't want to make this video, but I feel I have to and just flip and say it. Today, Vodafone came out, the Commerce Commission came out and killed the deal on the table for the merger between Sky and Vodafone. I've talked to the people on the inside and I've got the scope. Well, I don't actually. Basically, they rang me up and people have vented all day wanting me to talk about it, and I really don't want to because I kind of have two feelings that things are going to happen next. One, the goal for Vodafone buying Sky. Actually, just quickly, let's talk about that. Vodafone puts itself to try and be the most innovative company, leading with tech and bits and pieces. Yet the goal is, the play was to try and buy, I guess, potentially, on paper, probably the most non-tech, non-innovative company, which would be currently Sky. So first, say they try to do it. The goal of them trying to do it is to be able to get content and access to content to be able to push their channels and their pipeline. I talked about it before with the producers, the platform, and then the pipeline going out the door. Great. But what's going to happen now, to be fair, I don't think Vodafone's going to fight it. I think that's game over. So internally at Vodafone, it's just going to be like, all right, stuff it. We need to get some content. What are we going to do? Obviously, Spark's having a sniff around with some Netflix stuff over here. Voda needs to try and make a move. So Sky is really, 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 really at risk for two reasons. One, their potential biggest partner is now going to be going proactively on the other side to try and look to get as much content as it can. And I've got some ideas on what I think they'd be doing. Secondly, as if I don't know if you've been following as well, but there was a bit of momentum sort of building with election year and bits and pieces with some of the politicians talking about they want any New Zealand national sporting events and stuff to be free to air. Personally, I actually think it's a good idea if you want to, I think that's good. So put it this way, if not only this merger doesn't go through and Sky and the government, for whatever reason, the lobbyists, whatever, come through and a bill gets passed where all that content goes public, why would people need Sky? Because if they can get all the other stuff there, and if there's no other sport on it, like right now, like if you're totally honest with yourself, if all the sport got taken away off Sky and all the All Blacks games and all the cricket and everything, would you still have a subscription? I can almost guarantee you that overnight, if that happened, they'd lose 70% of their business in 90 days because people would just be like, stuff this. So they're at a really, really precarious position with what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, because the way I see it is the two things they need to be able to do now are transform dramatically themselves, self-fund into to become digitally led, which the goal of Vodafone buying them was to do that. And the other thing is the culture internally that they'd have to deal with for such a huge shift. So basically it's going to come down to, all right, do you think if you've got, I always call it about, if you've got new digital leadership and new digital strategy, do you have the digital generals to execute? And on paper, Sky clearly don't have that right now, but they've got a huge opportunity because they've got a shit ton of money in the bank. They can go out and they can make some moves, and I know what I'd be doing, but it's going to be really, really interesting to see, because if those two things happen, one, if they don't transform digitally and get the tech up to speed and the culture aligned, and so if that doesn't happen, one. Two, if any of that sport gets opened out for free and all that stuff which was the crown jewel is open to everyone, that is when basically, mark my words today, Sky will die within 5 years. If that within 3 years, it will just tank the shit out of it. If those two things happen, if they can't get their tech right, can't get their culture right, and if they lose that stuff, it's flipping game over. How about you could do something dramatically different, like offer a new product to the market with your existing stuff? Like, I don't know, say, talking to someone about it today, he said, okay, stuff it for, $20, $50 a month, choose 10 channels, whatever you want. You pick a choice, whatever it is. There's so many other moves they've got. They've got money, they've got access to content now. Still, no, they're not playing in the mobile space leading first, and it's going to be a flippin' bloodbath. Like right now, Vodafone, they're not going to fight this shit. They've got a shit ton of money. They know what they want. They bought it for content. Now they don't have that content. They're going to flip and go do it themselves. So put yourselves in the telco shoes. If you know that the power's coming to you, if more and more content's going to be streamed onto mobile devices, if more and more data is going to be pulled into smartphones first, and they're not playing in that space well enough, and they're losing market share with Netflix over here, and Hulu, and flipping Hulu, and everything else that's getting streamed online, this could be the biggest tipping point in Sky's history in business of all time, because literally the legacy systems that are in there with the traditional thinking without the technology, which clearly isn't working with SkyGo or anything else, it just bottlenecks and turns to shit, it is going to be game over, rest in peace Sky. Or internally, if they're really flipping onto it, they're gonna understand, cool, I've been kicked in the teeth, cool, the telco's gonna go against me, now they are going to be up against Spark and 2 Degrees and Vodafone and the other media companies who are circling trying to do more stuff too. So it's very interesting times. I've got to go make some more power moves, but mark my words, this is a huge day. I honestly don't want to talk about it, but I had to talk about it. So those 3 things to watch out for. Sky will be dead in 5 years if they do not, Sky will be dead in 3 years if they dramatically don't change tact with tech, with culture, and with their content in the next 12 months. It has to happen or it's game over. See you guys soon. Peace.